Hey, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. I hope you're going to enjoy our little travel vlog about geology and some places I've been to. So there's going to be a lot of rocks, mountains. Probably won't be that long tonight. For those of you interested in true crime as well, the Delphi case is being heard by the Supreme Court of Indiana in just a couple of hours. So I'm sure a lot of people want to tune into that because the hearing will be live. I know I want to. But until then, hey, we've got some time. So let's look at some nice pictures. Okay, just getting the screen ready here. There we go. So first up, we have Monument Valley. No, is this Monument Valley? Yeah, it's in Utah. It's on a Navajo reservation, and these rock formations are known as mesas, sometimes buttes. No, these are buttes. Mesas are just kind of more like a plateau. These are buttes. They're known as the mittens because you'll notice that there's like little thumbs, so the two are together are known as the mittens. And I think this is sunset, maybe sunrise. I don't remember what time of day it was that I was there. I don't remember driving out in the dark, and I didn't stay there overnight. So that's why I was wondering, maybe it was sunrise. I don't know. Was it Lake Powell during the day? Yeah, so this must be sunset. Anyway, I have one more picture. A lot of movies were made there. Absolutely. A lot of Westerns with John Wayne and stuff. Here's another view of this area, the red rock. Usually some of the redness is due to like oxidization of iron that's in the rocks. There's other reasons rocks can be red, but that's one of them. Tea. In the St. George area, actually, since I went to Southern Utah University in Cedar City, Utah, we would frequent St. George, which is a city just to the south, very much like this kind of climate. And so some of the Westerns were made there. And one of John Wayne's Westerns was made in the St. George area. Well, there's a lot of the nuclear testing that was done in Nevada. If the winds were blowing to the south toward Las Vegas, they would cancel. If they were blowing to the west towards California, they would cancel. If they were blowing to the north toward Reno, they would cancel. But if they were blowing toward the east to Utah, they wouldn't cancel. And one of the people that I had met there in Utah, some Indians still live on the plateaus. Yes. A lot of different tribes in the area. There's Paiute and Ute and Hopi and the Navajo, which I mentioned. And so anyway, this woman told me that she remembers being in elementary school, and a test will have gone on in Nevada that they don't get any kind of notification about. And all of a sudden it would start snowing, but it was snowing glowing flakes. and they would like go outside and play in it like you would play in the snow. And so a lot of people ended up coming down with different kinds of cancer. Babies were born deformed or stillborn. And there's not a lot of medical records of it because these are people that live simple farming lives. If they gave birth at home to a baby that was deformed, they just dug a hole and buried it. You know, so while there are some medical records, there's a lot that are missing. And so this glowing snow had settled on the ground over years, and so it was radioactive. And when John Wayne was filming, I don't remember the name of which movie it was, but one of his westerns, and they've got all the horses and the wagons and all the dust is there, it's all in the air, and they're all breathing it, and nobody's thinking about it being radioactive. And anyway, so every single person that worked on that set, whether they were actors or crew, came down with some form of cancer. So it's like they breathed it in, and then it decided where in the body it would settle. Chalet in the house, chalet in the house. I didn't give Mumsy the shout out. Mumsy in the house, Christine in the house. Yeah, so we were just showing, there's just one picture before this, the mittens, and then this one. Dang. Yeah, every single person died of cancer, or at least came down with some kind of cancer, whether it was treated and they lived or whether they died. Every single person had cancer. Anyway, here's me at the Grand Canyon. This was actually taken while I was on the Roller Love Tour, which you guys have already you know about, or if you don't, you can go watch previous shows. So this would have been like in 2006, 2007, before I came to Cambodia. So like 16 years ago, 17 years ago. They changed a lot. Which way? This way? The earrings, my hair. Yeah, I've aged a little bit, but hey, that's what happens in 15 years, right? So we've got a few pictures of the Grand Canyon. I have no idea who these people are, but it just made a nice framing of, with the silhouette of the trees and the sunset going down. So young. Yeah, 40. I was like 40, 39 or 40. Now I'm 56. So yeah, some Grand Canyon pictures. Here's a lookout where people can look. So this is like if the south side from Flagstaff, all of these particular pictures. Nice silhouette of a barren tree. Just a close-up of the lichen on a rock. Yep. Grand Canyon. Now, I've also camped like on this other side, on this ridge. And I'll never forget my daughter. She took her camping. Or maybe we just drove. I don't know if we camped or if we just drove out there. And there's no, like, here you can kind of see there's a bit of a fence, right? But most of the Grand Canyon's not. You can kind of see because of all these layers. If you look kind of right here where there's this person over here, there's maybe like a 2-foot drop and then like a little ledge that's maybe 1.5 to 2 feet wide. And then this clear drop, right? That's what it was like on the other side, completely undeveloped. And Jasmine's just like walking along this one, and she's wanting to step down on jump down onto this other one. And I was like having a heart attack. I was having a panic attack. I couldn't breathe. And she was just so flippant about it. It's like, why are you worried, Mom? Why are you so upset? But it was the friggin' Grand Canyon on the other side. you know, the drop just as big as this one, you know, just kids. Anyway, there's a lot of green also. I mean, we think of all that red rock and how dry and desert it is, but there's a lot of life and greenery. I never got to ride a mule down the Grand Canyon, but it was something I always wished I could have done. So I got some pictures of the mules. Oh, there's Robbie Love in the background. Oh, that must be our RV that we were riding in. There's Robbie Love and Fred, the producer. You guys got all the stories from that. So now this is the geology field trip with the geology students at Southern Utah University. So I went just as a photographer, not as a geology student. Come back, you can still ride one. Anything, any kind of thing you can tempt me with, huh? No, it's all right. I can pass. Anyway, we went on this field trip. We cut from Nevada through, from Utah through Nevada, up and over like Yosemite, or maybe we jumped onto Highway 80. Oh, no. We went around Lake Tahoe. That's what we did. So we were in Nevada. We went straight across all of Nevada, made a lot of stops. And then around Lake Tahoe and down to like San Francisco area, because everyone's heard of the San Andreas Fault, where that's, you know, produces a lot of the earthquakes in the Bay Area, you know, the fault line, and where it kind of ends and goes out into the ocean. In fact, this could be it. That could be why I have this picture right here, but because that's what we were going to, and then to see all the geology in the area, just north of San Francisco, kind of in Marin County. And this is an old World War II bunker that they had built, because they were, California being on the coast with, even though, you know, Pearl Harbor happened in Hawaii, there was always the threat that maybe the Japanese would come across and hit California. So they had bunkers with, you know, cannons or whatever in it. Now all the ammunition and stuff like that's been removed. But yeah, I just thought this was interesting. It was a very foggy day, which is, I love the fog. And this is kind of hard to see here. Sorry, it's not lighter. But we're looking at the you know, rocks on the beach. I think this is what they were looking at. All these different kinds of rocks that had, you know, have washed down and eroded from the cliffs above. This guy in the blue is the geology teacher, professor, and then some of the students looking at whatever he's pointing out. I think that they're also looking at maybe like shells and things that are embedded in there. One of the students found a crab, put it in her hand. Ugh. There's one in the water. That's as close as I want to get to one. Why I don't go in the ocean anymore. You see something like this, well, you know that they're like around. Who's to say you're not going to step on one? Ugh, rock and roll. Lots of rocks, and they roll. This was interesting because you can see all these different types of rocks that got put together, you know, they got compacted together. And the way that they have all these like little lines in them, you know, some rocks are really smooth and these have all these wrinkly lines. And yeah, just pretty. And so this one, you can kind of see that marbling. It's almost this black looks more like a basalt, like something like a lava. And then I'm not sure like what this white silverish is. Maybe it is marble. Maybe that's where we get marbling from. I don't know. I'm not a geology student, but my credit for the trip was by taking pictures for the geology club. Here again, you can see how these striations are in the rocks. That's like real interesting stuff for geology students. For us, it just looks pretty. And then this, if I recall, is more like, instead of, like granite is usually volcanic, pumice is volcanic. This is mud, rocks that came from mud. And if you think there of a layer of silt and then another layer of silt and then another layer of silt, well, those were all layer after layer after layer like this. And then you got like an uplift in the rocks pushing it upwards. So now they're vertical. And there's a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge with fog. One of my favorite pictures. Here's, I think, this is the close-up that we just saw, I believe, is this part, which you wouldn't even know this was there if they hadn't built this road and cut this hill to make this road. You would just see the grass. And you wouldn't even know that you had all these layers. But imagine the force it took to crumple all of those rocks into this shape. So this is kind of like from where you just saw that picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. If you turned around and looked the other way, nice composition. I like this. You can see some beach. You can see some poppy flowers here, but California coastline. Here's the students looking at an outcropping, I guess you would call it. Sometimes you have a hard rock with softer land around it, or softer rock or softer dirt, that then erodes away from around the harder rock. And so it doesn't erode like the rest of it did. And you end up with an outcropping. And sometimes they get forced up, so that's up thrust or erosion. Which are these? I don't know. They know. Any geology students, be sure to leave some comments. But of course, being exposed, you get all this lichen and stuff. I think this was on the San Francisco Bay side of Marin, and because that this little bit, I want to say Telluride. It begins with a T. The area that this is, it's very exclusive, very artsy, very rich now. Used to be where all the artisans and musicians and artists that didn't have any money would go live. They couldn't afford San Francisco, so they would go move over here. But now it's all rich. And on our way up to those rocks, we passed this labyrinth that somebody had made. So it's like part of a public park, and anyone can go up there and walk around in this labyrinth. And it really is kind of peaceful to walk around. Now, whether the people that made this, like, actually there's some kind of ley line of the earth that goes through here where there's like an energy center and that's why it's here, or if it's just a random place of dirt that, on the hillside and a park that, hey, let's make a labyrinth. But here in the background, that's San Quentin, if it gives you some kind of bearing on where you are. Like when I'm taking this picture, San Francisco would be behind me. Just some beautiful hillside, a lot. So in California, which is full of hills that look like this, we call them foothills. So California foothills, the nice little path here. That's probably, we took this path to go up to the labyrinth, and then the that other rock that we were like here would be probably that mountain. There's the teacher. He's not in his blue coat anymore. But yeah, who would think, you know, you just drive by this every day if you live in the area, and here geology students are coming all the way from Utah to look at your rocks. Yeah, how fun is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of hiking involved with geology. And just some flowers, some lichen, some rock under there. And that's it. That's the last one. Here you go. Shall we go back to the San Francisco Bridge? There it is. That's nice. So 20 minutes is a short one tonight. Any questions about some of these pictures? I mean, over the years, like if I dug through various files, I would definitely have more pictures. I went on more than one. I could do a whole show on Death Valley if I dug up those pictures, because there was a trip. In fact, I think it was on this trip I mentioned we went by Lake Tahoe to go over, but then we went south to Death Valley and went through Death Valley on our way back to Utah, then through Las Vegas and back. So we kind of made a loop on this trip. But there were other trips I went on. It was more than one trip that I went on with the Geology Club. I went to Denver with them for a geological, an annual conference, you know, with geologists, people, experts, professors, geologists from across the country were there for this convention, USGS, United States Geological Society. And I helped volunteer at the registration table, but then I got to go listen to some of the lectures as well, presentations. And but in addition to that, I got to stay, I got to explore Denver a little bit. And so it was really, that was a good trip. I went to the Molly Brown House and had a tour of the Molly Brown House, picked up a biography, or no, an authorized, the only like family authorized biography. Yeah, there is no autobiography, but there's a biography. And but yeah, those pictures aren't handy. I'd have to like dig around. I have a lot of interesting photos. Thank you so much, Mumsy. In fact, I wonder if I'm gonna take a quick peek at the YouTube studio while you guys are there, and see if I have the chat replay box checked. Did you guys see my little short that I did? It might not make sense. Yeah, live chat replay is checked. Okay, that's awesome. Let me YouTube. StreamYard. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to stop that one. Share screen. Tab. Also share audio. Will you been where a few times? Estes Park. Estes Park. Okay, before I do it. In Colorado. don't think I have, but I've been to Breckenridge, which this reminds me very much of Breckenridge. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, Colorado has a lot of small towns like this that are just absolutely beautiful. Let's look here. What? It's 34. So let me see. Oh, up in the north. No, yeah. I've been on Highway 20. You see this Highway 25 out of Denver that goes up to Cheyenne. So I've been there, and then on Highway 80, I've been both directions. I've been all the way to Chicago going east, and I've been all the way to California going west on 80. But so here's Estes Park. I have not been there, but there's Denver. So there's Highway 70, and I believe, well, there's Breckenridge. See, there's Breckenridge right there. I've been there, stayed in a beautiful little bed and breakfast. And then also if you go through Leadville, there you go. I've been to Leadville as well. And somewhere here around Leadville is where South Park is originated. South Park's like an imaginary town, but I think it was modeled after Leadville. And so they have all kinds of like South Park Cafe and things like that, whatever. They're at Leadville. You're saying that you stayed there and was in, oh, Stephen King stayed in Estes. And so there's a Shining Hotel. Let's look it up. Estes Park. Shining Hotel. Images. Oh, wow. Looks pretty nice. You know what else that looks like? It looks like, kind of looks like Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve and who was the lady that played that medicine doctor, like a Western medicine woman. She was a doctor, Western. Eyes are kind of like off, not quite straight. At least I always think that. Anyway, kind of looks like that too. So The Shining, wow. Estes, pronounced Estes. Yeah, I never saw it. You've been to Boulder and Denver. Yeah, Denver's nice. Denver's a really nice city. There's a lot of old and new there. Boston also has like a lot of old and new, and I kind of felt that way about Denver. There's so much historic areas and everything, and just seems like a very, very friendly town. Now that Denver airport is supposed to be kind of evil, but anyway, I was going to show you that the reason I came over here. So now let's go back to YouTube. Smutters Brothers. Wonder why that came up. So my channel, shorts. This one. Let's watch.
I have the special deal for you.
I need to turn up the volume, but I can't turn it up on a short. I don't think there's a place. Wait. There, oh, here.
I have
volume.
deal
For
you.
So let me just hit this.
We would like to do a ballad, my brother and myself, combining our voices as once we did.
Back.
I have the special deal for you. Yeah. If you give me $1,000, here is my ABA scan QR. Give me $1,000. I will go in the back room and tell the spiritual man to bless you, give you blessing to change your destiny. Yes, your $1,000 that you put in my ABA, you will get back $20,000. Yeah. Here, let me give you a little bit of gold. This is magic gold. Will increase your fortune. Okay. Okay. Yes. Here's my ABA. I have the special deal for you. Yeah. If you.
Yeah, there we go. So this is actually, I'm telling you from a real news story. So I thought, we're kind of at a lull, and this is one of my tutors. I mean, I'm the tutor. He's one of my students that I tutor. And there's a little bit of a lull. And so I thought, well, let's look at the news. Let's see if there's anything in the news, and then I can help, we find some vocabulary, how to tell, we're expanding his English and his pronunciation. And he doesn't want like school lessons. He wants conversation. So I thought, okay, let's look and see if there's anything interesting in the news. I came across this news story about this lady, Cambodian lady. She just got she's on the run. Police are looking for her. She stole $300,000. I think that might be I don't know if that's just one scam victim or it's cumulative of many victims that she scammed. But this was her thing. She said that in the back room, she had a spiritual Cambodian, like a magic man, right, in the back room. And if the people would, there was, I just used 1,000 and 20,000 as for easy math, because what she told them is that their money would increase by 20%. Oh, that's not 20,000. 1,020 would be like an extra $250 or $200. And anyway, so she would tell them 20%. But they had to give her the money, and then she would go and talk to the magic man to have him do like a spell for this person's money to increase by 20%. Then she also gave them gold, which turned out to be fake gold and not even real gold. Gave them fake gold, told them the gold was magic, and that that as long as they had that gold, then their fortunes would also increase. And the police are looking for her right now. And she's young. She looks like she's in her 20s, all done up in makeup, very modern looking. Yeah, the crazy thing. So I had just taught him like all the different vocabulary words and like how this story unfolds in English. And then I said, hey, let's do a little video for YouTube. He's like, yeah. So that's my student. He's like 30. He's 34, 35, 37. So he's around this. He's a year or two different than my son James, who he's never met. But that's like one of the things that you kind of get early conversation about. It's like, how many kids do you have? How old are they? Are they boys or girls? Blah blah blah. Do you have any pets? 2 dogs. I have 9 cats. Blah blah blah. Kind of that beginning stuff. So that's why I know he's the same age as my son. So, Mom, have you talked to Jasmine to call her out on the Jean-Claude Van Damme? Are you still there, Mumsy? Oh, she's asking where's Estes Park. Of course, now, yeah, we know it's Colorado. Well, it's 9:30. It's been a half hour. And so we got some other things going on today with the Delphi case. Should be interesting. New comments. Oh, easy money for her. People just want more money. Absolutely. And they'll think of any scam they can to get it. No, not yet. Haven't talked to Jasmine yet. All righty. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing from you how that goes. And you can always tell when you talk to her, tell her that that you really had fun being up on panel and stuff, and maybe for one of the Gen X shows, like maybe next week. Why don't you give her as an excuse to give her a call? We should have the three of us, so we have all three generations. We can talk about parenting. That can be the topic, parenting, and I can show pictures of Jasmine when she was growing up. Maybe some. We've already shown pictures of me growing up. But we can show pictures of Jasmine, and then she can say what she loved or hated about my parenting. That would be opening myself up for criticism. Yeah, good idea. It would make a great show because she would be ripping me to shreds. But I'm up for it. So I love you guys, and you know that my love transcends all time and space. So wherever and whenever you are watching this, I hope you can feel my love for you. It would be a good show. Yeah, it would definitely be a good show. You know, she wouldn't have the time. Well, I don't know. Oh, in the morning, does she have a job? I know she does some kind of accounting or something. Yeah, have a great day. Mom, you sort it out. And we can always do it at a different time. So, all righty, that's it. See you next time. And I might do a show tomorrow because I didn't get to do it on Tuesday. So I might do a ramble tomorrow. I had the idea to do what would Scarpetta do? So like a true crime about the Idaho 4 crime scene. And if Dr. K. Scarpetta was the medical examiner, how would things have gone down if she was on the case? So, all right. Love you guys. Bye.